When you're building or diagnosing a workflow, having access to the actual data passing through it can make a huge difference in identifying potential issues. The Workflow Recorder allows you to export all of the data for a given workflow and view it in a neatly organized XML file so you can see exactly what data you're working with, which branch paths were taken, and more. Let's see it in action. Click Admin, then System Settings. Scroll down to the Workflow Recording Allowed Users setting. By default, this feature is activated and available for all users, but recording must be manually started in order to begin. You may disable this feature altogether by selecting None, or you can restrict it to a specific user by selecting their username and clicking Save. I'll leave this set to All so it's available for anyone to use should someone need to contact support. Now, let's look at an item in my workflow queue. The workflow panel will eventually show our controls for starting, stopping, and downloading, but before it can be used, recording needs to be activated. This can be done by either assigning an item to workflow or by restarting the workflow. Let's restart mine. I'll click the Record Workflow box, then Restart. Now, the workflow panel displays the recording status. Here, we can see that the recording began when we reset it. We can turn it off by clicking Stop and Clear, or download the XML by clicking here. I'll click Submit and then make a selection in this next step to perform a few actions that will move this workflow along. Now, we should have something to look at. I'll click Download, and the server has provided an XML file located in my workstation's Downloads folder. Let's open it up and see what's there. We can see several useful details at the top, including the WF document ID, the username of the person who assigned the workflow, the name of the workflow, its current state, a timestamp, and more. Each action that the workflow has passed through is broken out individually, and branch conditions and their details are shown. When I reached the second step, I selected Check from the dropdown. Here you can see that I chose the second value, check, and the check value was written to the document's doc type field. Additionally, you can see that this is not a sticky field. You can see the text of the prompt, the list system object being referenced, and that it's not required. Once you've identified what you need to find, you can stop recording the data by returning to the workflow panel and clicking Stop Clear.